I guess this is where this video ends off, shirtless in a parking lot in Las Vegas, because... Welcome to the Burnouts and Rotor Blades YouTube channel. Let's go do something awesome.
What are we doing, Brian?
We're gonna get me a truck.
What kind of truck?
Best kind of truck. A beater.
Great.
It's an 88 Squarebody. Stop it.
Wow, look at that.
What?
Do you see it?
What?
On the...
Oh, somebody put a Coke bottle?
On the stop sign.
Yeah, that's weird. It's like an IED in California. Oh, and get the keys. Those are ridiculous rims.
Everything's leather, real leather.
Oh, yeah.
Sound system.
That's hilarious.
I rebuilt everything. AC, radiator, power steering pump.
Oh wow, it was very green before.
The hydro, whatever booster it is, the gearbox, brakes are new. I think the back, I don't know about the front. Transmission's new, rebuilt, motors rebuilt. That's for the back tank. It's like a 50-gallon.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's big. The small one on the front is only a 20-something. This thing's unstoppable. I go to Glamis, it doesn't get stuck.
So we got a body lift. We got just a body lift.
Yeah. Yeah, everything except for the alternator was new. Radiator, everything. I did this truck up.
Okay, so that one was not the one. That truck was not good, but maybe this one is. So I did buy it.
Yay. Super excited.
This is my 1984 Chevrolet C30 dually. It's lowered, it's got decent rims and tires on it, and I love the way it looks. The C and K models of trucks started up in the 1960s, and there were some beautiful trucks.
Howdy. I'd like you to take a look at some of the brand new 1964 Chevrolet trucks. Of course, Chevy's made so many truck improvements over the last 5 years, it'd take an ad machine to count them all up.
GMC pickups, where business and pleasure mix beautifully.
All the way up until 1973, where they swapped over to the square body style of truck.
Nothing works like a Chevy truck.
This one was special to me because whenever I was a kid, my dad had bought a 1988 Chevy Blazer, and that's kind of what I grew up on, and I just fell in love with them. The fact that there are trucks that start off in 1973 and go all the way up to 1987 means there's tons and tons of spares for these trucks, and there's tons and tons of different ways to modify them. Everything from lifting them to lowering them and everything in between. This truck is my favorite version of what a truck is, a lowered dually. Now, some of you may not agree with that, but it's all about personal preference. It's my ride. You do your ride the way you like to. 1984 was special because it was the first year of the multi-function wiper switch. And the one on this car is broken because, well, the previous owner tried and failed to replace it, but that's something we can take care of later. Now, a one-ton model like this was capable of towing a staggering 12,000 pounds with a braked trailer. And honestly, I'd like to get a car trailer and possibly might do a move across the country one day, and this is the perfect truck for it. The only problem is, these things only came with a turbo 400, and that doesn't really get you very much as far as speed goes. So that's where the special part of this truck is, because it has a gear vendor's overdrive unit, which means that we can comfortably cruise at 70 down the highway, with the exception of the wind leaks, because, well, the doors need new felts. The square body lineup came with 7 different engine possibilities: gas, diesel, 6-cylinder, inline, V8s, you name it. It had all the possibilities from GM and Chevrolet. But this truck came with, well, my favorite option, which was the 454 big block. The 1984 Chevy 454 came with 230 horsepower and 360 foot-pounds of torque, which means I just missed out on the upgraded 240 horsepower that came with the 1986 Chevy big block of the same generation. That's not to mention the Gen 6 that came later with even more horsepower and fuel injection and all that other stuff. Now, this truck has a GT5 code on the RPO codes, meaning that it is a 410 rear end, which is pretty low and great for towing. Though maybe I'd like to put something a little higher if we put a little bit more power into the motor so we can get a little bit better RPM to highway speed ratio going on.
Daddy, are the cameras off?
Nope, the cameras are on. They're watching you right now.
No, they're watching you.
Oh, watching us. How about that?
Daddy, how is the temperature?
So the temperature right now coming out of the vent, it says it's 32 degrees. That's pretty cold, huh?
Yeah.
The air conditioning didn't work, and I took care of that beforehand. You can check out a video for that right up there. Now I've outfitted this thing with the Dakota Digital electronic fans controller to go along with the previously installed electric fans, and that has resulted in some really good air conditioning and a really neat feature from that new fan controller, and that's Bluetooth control. I love it that I can change the settings around as I need to just from my phone right here. Now I truly do love the look of this truck and I love the towing capacity, but that doesn't mean that there's not a ton of work that needs to be done to this thing. There's all kinds of broken bits and pieces and neglected things from the last 30 plus years that this thing has been in service. Not only that, but the lowering that was done on it was done, well, haphazardly, and so was a lot of the wiring. Because the leaf springs are rubbing on all of the brackets and the axle hits the frame every now and again when you hit a good bump, I'm thinking I might have to raise this thing up. The only other option is to do a C-notch. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments, and let me know what you think about the name Moby for this guy. Moby the Great White Whale.
There's a lot of space in the middle.
What do you mean there's a lot of space in the middle?
Because see?
Like for a whole nother person?
Yeah.
But what about in the back?
Yeah.
How many people can fit back there? 3 people? So how many people can fit in here? 6. Now the gear vendors in this thing means that we can cruise along pretty comfortably. The problem is that with the 410 gear ratio that this thing has out back, we can do that 65 miles an hour pulling a trailer or not, but we can't really do a whole lot more than that with getting the RPMs a little too high. And that camera just died because it got too hot. So next we'll just show you some really pretty videos of this thing. Something sounds wrong. Something sounds very wrong. And I hear coolant and it's leaking. Get over. That terrible noise comes from the fact that we just chewed up the only belt that was running the water pump, and the truck has been overheating for I'm not really sure how long. So we got it onto a back alley and started to look over and see what the problem was. So I screwed up. I didn't tighten down all the belts whenever I put the alternator belt on. The wife is very amused.
Nope.
And yeah, now we're broke down right next to Bally's on the Las Vegas Strip. And yeah, so we got to go get a belt and put it back on there.
It's Daddy's unlucky day.
Yeah, tell me about it.
This all happened because Daddy was too lazy.
I have a knife in my hand and I will use it.
And to tighten up a next time you go, you're gonna have a safety kit with everything. Every time something happens, you're leaving the safety kit with the truck.
Well, I mean, I hope that there's not an every time. I hope it's just
every time you use the truck, you can use the safety kit.
Yeah, I hope that's not a thing that is required. Hold on to that.
I mean, if there was a better view to like fix your car with like a nice Las Vegas.
Yeah, no kidding. Could I have
back
looked out
view.
in a better place?
On the upside, while we replaced the belt on the truck and made sure everything was good to go for the trip back home, family did get to enjoy some of the finer parts of the downtown Las Vegas experience.
I thought about stopping, but I was like, well, it stopped squeaking. I just think.
Live and learn. We live and learn.
Is it done?
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go start it up. I'm gonna verify that everything looks good and moves the way it's supposed to, and hopefully it doesn't squeal.
Yep. Right. Tighten them. Make sure they're tight.
All right.
Rev it again.
We're just about.
Oh my God! I worked on something.
Is that Honda any of you guys?
Do what?
Is that Honda any of you guys?
Nope.
No. I don't do Honda. I mean, I would.
What's a Honda?
The family went on to go put fuel in the Vega for the return trip home, and I took off the radiator cap to let the air out.
And he used his shirt to open the radiator.
We're a hell of a family out here. I'm shirtless in a gas station pouring water into my truck, and my son's pissing on a bush over there with his pants fully around his ankles. It's the American dream. The American dream.
No, big guy.
As you'd expect, just replacing the belt didn't really fix the problem.
I can smell the belt.
Really, again? So what are we doing?
Drive home careful.
Well, that didn't work.
Well, I guess this is where this video ends off, shirtless in a parking lot in Las Vegas, because, well, Moby broke down again on the way home, and we got to get her towed. So thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, and come back and check us out whenever the truck's not broken. So see you next time. What did you say again, Vlad?
This is the lightsaber, and this is the bad.
So the good guy's lightsaber and the bad guy's lightsaber?
Yeah, they're fighting.
Which one are you? Are you the good guy or the bad guy?
I'm the good guy.
Oh, you're the good guy? Are you sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
Bella's the bad guy.
Bella's the bad guy. Oh yeah? Got you too.